Okay. Anyone else? Yeah, I have three answers that here. All right. Most of you seem to be familiar with the learning, and like we all take online courses, we watch videos, but what are the benefits for a company when they leverage e-learning? First of all, companies can save money by significantly reducing training costs on things like travel, accommodations, and other event expenditures. The learning experience is no longer bound to classroom. Employees can take courses at their own pace, wherever and whenever it's convenient for them. Third, a learning platform allows you to train employees in different locations at no extra cost. You can reduce the time that employees put into mentoring new staff. The new hires can get up to speed more independently and therefore need less assistance. And the last one is that a corporate LMS platform makes it easy to keep track of who has completed a course and how well they performed. You can use these analytics to improve your professional development programs. So I see that some of you are already familiar with the learning. So let's talk about what software, what tools you need to implement to learning. And firstly, what is a corporate LMS? A corporate learning management system or LMS software that delivers online training and learning content to your employees. An LMS lets you onboard new employees so they have the knowledge and skills required to succeed in their roles and ultimately advance first in their careers. Okay, yeah. So here you can see what is the corporate LMS. And so just a bit of basic info on LMSs for you all here. There are a few different kinds of LMSs. So all LMSs are either open sourced or commercial. Then both open source and commercial LMSs are either locally hosted or cloud based. Let's look at these types of LMSs briefly. Open source LMSs are license free solutions. These can be adjusted to the user's particular needs because they are open sourced. However, this requires you to have an IT expert and to spend money on a server or on a hosting. A prime example of an open source LMS is Moodle LMS. But most LMSs on the market are commercial LMSs. Commercial LMSs are proprietary and come with license fees. These are created and managed by LMS vendors that provide tax support to the customers. These LMSs can be installed and delivered as a cloud-based SaaS solution or locally hosted. Uh, Locally hosted LMSs are ones that you have to host and maintain. It comes with high setup fees and a limited license duration. Your IT team is in charge of managing it and dealing with security. And then cloud-based LMSs are hosted online by vendors. These LMSs are accessible anywhere and on any device. It doesn't require heavy hosting or maintenance infrastructure or a strong IT background. It's the LMS vendor that provides access to the service, maintains the system, and safeguards your data with encryption protocols. But you know, what what kind of challenges in your company can an LMS help you tackle? Within LMS, you can respond to high training and recruiting costs, high turnover rate, and it always happens because there is no proper onboarding training. Poor employee performance, it may be because of lack of motivation, burnout, mm, professional development stagnation, like, there is no clear career track or a learning path, poor staff compliance, and based on my experience, this is one of the most widespread issues. Then shallow talent pool. This is relevant for HR. And the last one, inconsistent training. So, because there's no structured training process. And so, now it's time to find out how to choose an LMS. And I have a question for you here. If you were to choose an LMS right now, what would be your first step? Can you please write it in chat? Yeah. If you were to choose an LMS right now, what would be your first step? What do you think? Just type it in chat. Any ideas? Yeah, one more minute. Okay, hot to answer. Yeah, yeah, that's a very hot question when you start your search. All right, I believe everyone is waiting on our guide, know how to choose the best LMS. That's right for you. Okay, okay. Then let's proceed. Uh, we've put together a list of how best to select an LMS that's right for you. And the first step is that you need to identify your needs. With over 600 platforms to select from, you need to start with well-defined search criteria. It's crucial to know exactly what you need from an LMS and how it can help you reach your training goals and business objectives. Next, you need to determine your goals and objectives. Decide what specific goal you want to achieve by implementing and learning. It's a good idea to create a realistic project roadmap and break your goal down into small objectives. And, these, you can define these depending on your job title, like what specific metrics you're responsible for. For example, if the goal is to reduce the time for a sales representative certification from 3 months to 2 weeks, it's a goal. You can set the following objectives like employees know the product line and benefits of each product. Employees know the sales stages and can qualify a lead. Employees can communicate product value to customers. The more specific your goals, the easier it is for you to communicate them to a vendor, and the easier it will be to realize which features are most important to you in an LMS. You can also, you know, understand what don't you like about your current situation, what problems you have, and then create a goal and divide it into objectives. Step two, once you identify your needs, think about your audience, who you need to train. Knowing your audience helps you better define your learning strategy so that you'll know what LMS features you need to achieve your training goals. To get a clear picture of who your audience is, try to answer 5 questions. How old are your learners? For example, if most learners are young people from Gen Z, you might want an LMS that incorporates social learning elements. The second question, Do your learners have the right skill levels? If you're planning to train newcomers as well as experienced employees, you will need a system that won't force learners to go through a one size fits all learning track. In this case, an LMS that lets you create different learning paths will be the perfect solution for you. How then, another question is that how tech savvy are your learners? If not all of your employees are comfortable with technology, choose an LMS that is super simplified and user friendly. Where do your learners take courses? You know, ask your colleagues where and when it's comfortable for them to take courses. If you find out that most employees prefer to learn on their phones after work, you need a mobile friendly LMS. And again, based on my experience, 90% of the employees take the courses directly on their mobile phones. And the last one is that how many learners are going to train? Are you going to train? Like, you need to know this to find an LMS that has enough storage and can support the number of users you need. Uh, what else do you think is important to know about your target audience when you start training? Like based on your experience. Go ahead and let us know in chat. Yeah, I understand, of course, it may vary from company to company, but yeah, like if you have any other questions, like what else do you think is important to know? Number of students? Yeah, like how many learners are you going to train? Yeah, that's right, Hannah. Mm-hmm. Okay, anyone else? Like what do you think is important to know about your target audience when you start training so that you can, you know, find the right solution that they will enjoy? We covered age, skill levels, number of remote team, please. Yeah, that's right. That's a good catch actually. I think we should add it here because we know that people can be in various locations. It can be within one country but in different states, or it can be in different countries. This way, the LMS must support I would say like international training, that your LMS, that people from China, for example, can access it, have access to the same LMS so that you can provide the training. A good catch, Mitra. Yeah. All right. I think we can go to the third step. These are very, it's a good to catches. Yeah. Time zones are also important. I agree with you, absolutely. So that you need to know that your learners will see the platform, the training, according to their time. Yeah, good catch. All right, let's go to the third step. As soon as you know your needs and your audience, imagine what your training process would look like in a perfect world. So like take a second to think about what you envision, and think about how many new employees do you need to be added to the LMS each month? What type of training are you going to provide? Is it onboarding, compliance, is it sales training or anything different? How long will the training take? Each of that. What training data would you like to track? And who will be responsible for managing the LMS and tracking employee performance? These are like really five crucial questions that you need to you need to find answers on. And then the fourth step is that now it's time to shop around. You've already defined the LMS features you require, and now your challenge is to narrow the hundreds of choices down to a short list of solutions. And we would encourage you to ask your friends and colleagues what solutions they are using. If you're looking at an LMS and you know someone who uses it, they can be a great resource. You know, view ratings and LMS user reviews. There are a lot of websites such as Capterra, G2 Crowd, and e-learning industry that will help you compare systems. And then use the filtering tool in Capterra's LMS software directory to check off your must-have features and narrow down the list. And to shoot for at least you know try to shoot for a list of no more than 10 learning platforms to start with. you know 10 may sound a little bit, like small amount, but believe me, then you will need to do demos, trials. That's why 10 is enough to start, no more than 10. The next step is you need to evaluate LMS vendors. When you have about 10 platforms to look at, now it's time to dig a little deeper and learn more about each LMS. You're going to want to get it down to a short list of 3 to 5 vendors. And to evaluate vendors, you will need to check out LMS vendors' websites, ask for a demo, and test drive each LMS with a trial version. And let's take a closer look at these steps. But before that, uh, just one moment. I have one question in the chat. Do you have an LMS list that can be viewed? You can check out, such websites as already mentioned, Capterra, Learning Industry, G2 Crowd, and there will be a list of vendors. But I have, two questions for you. Uh, Before we can take a closer look at the steps, what do you usually pay attention to when looking at vendors' websites? Like what would be important for you to know about the vendor prior to speaking with them? Can you please let me know in chat? How long in business? Yeah, that's important. Yes. However, responsive to customer issues. Yeah, customer support is really important. I believe we have a poll here. What are the features? Okay, yeah, we have a poll here. So, can you please let us know? Yeah, customer service, detailed reports, mobile learning. Okay, customer service is on top, and I would totally agree here because it's really important to know that anyone is there and can help you at any time to fix all of your issues, to help you with any questions. Okay, thank you for answering. All right, here we have what you should pay attention when you go to the vendor's website. First of all, see if the LMS has the features you're looking for and make sure there aren't too many options you don't need. Then have a closer look at the vendor. Pay attention to how long they've been in the industry and who their customers are. So here you are right. You need to understand how long they've been in the industry. The longer they've been in the business and the more reputable companies use their products, the better. Read reviews and success stories from clients who use their LMS and try to find use cases similar to yours, to your industry, so that you can understand how these will work for you exactly. See if there is a knowledge base on the site, like product info, how to articles, and video tutorials. Also, see if a vendor has training content available on their website. If they don't, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Find out how things work with tech support. Look for high quality technical support with fast response times and the ability to contact them via different communication channels. You can use Captera's site to find an LMS with helpful support. And yeah, I would really like to pay attention to customer support because usually people that are, you know, that are not familiar with the learning, they just do not pay attention to customer support, and then when they find out that customer support is bad, it just by email, they start to look for a different solution. You always need to have a person that will be on the other end and help you at any time you need it. Then, if the vendor is a foreign company, ask about their localization features. This means an interface localized in your language and time. That is certainly a must have. And the last one, find out about how updates work. Ask the vendor if they update the system, how often, how you will receive updates, and whether you need to pay extra for it. After you get through this process, hopefully you will come out with a list of 3 to 5 vendors that meet your requirements. Then ask the vendors on your now but reduced list to hold a demo for you. This way you can see the product in action and ask all your remaining questions to determine which one is right for you. So you need to decide who will attend the presentation. Like choose which stakeholders need to see the product, like a training coordinator, course developer, someone from L&D, or maybe the head of HR. Then you need to develop a use case specific to your company. A use case is a scenario that shows how you plan to use the software. After you give a vendor a specific use case, they will be able to personalize the demonstration for your use case, for your needs. Ask to see the system from the learner's point of view, how they log in, view courses, take tasks, look through the results, and see how the system tracks their progress and other data. And here you can also need to understand how easy it is for the learners to take the training. Prepare a list of questions that you can ask the vendor during the demo. Here is a sample list of questions like, how much does the LMS cost? Are there any hidden costs such as hosting, installation, updates, technical support, etc.? And a small piece of advice, don't automatically cut more expensive solutions from your list. Think about it as a long-term investment. If your project is complex and includes a lot of admins, creators, and users, or you're at the beginning of your online training project, or if you need a boxed solution that has minimum requirements and can be quickly installed, it might be worth spending the extra dollars. Then also, you know, how flexible is the LMS? Can you customize its functionality yourself? Can you integrate it with other platforms and services? How scalable is the LMS? What measures are taken to protect user data? What is the data recovery plan? How often do they conduct a penetration tests? So these are the questions that you need to ask the vendor during the demo. And then the last one here is that you need to test drive the LMS of your choice. If you buy a car, you test drive it. And here, a free trial lets you get a feel for the learning platform and see if it will help you achieve your goals. Uh, Most LMSs offer free trials, usually for 14 days, so you can really get acquainted with its capabilities. And don't scroll through the features. Try using the product following a few scenarios that you and your users will most likely experience when using the system. So, while you're using the trial, make sure the LMS has all the features you need and check out how they work. To get started, invite users, upload training materials, and assign content to learners, and try creating your own tests and courses in the editor. Then, test extra features that you may want to use. For example, if you want to change the interface of the student login page, try doing it yourself. Then, pay attention to the LMS interface. If it's hard for you to understand how to add users or assign content to them, you will have to spend a lot of time mastering the system and teaching learners to use it. It shouldn't be rocket science, right? So choose an LMS with an intuitive user interface right from the start. Load the system as much as possible. Upload tons of materials in sizes and formats that you expect to use in the future. For example, let's say you're going to train employees with Scrum courses or video lectures, upload materials to the platform, assign them to users, and make sure the system can handle it. And the last one here is that you need to find out what services tech support provides and make sure to try contacting the support team. Pay attention to how quickly you receive an answer and see how fast the support specialist helps you to solve the problem and whether it's easy to communicate with them. Now, these are, four must-haves when you test driving your system, when you test drive the LMSs. You know, choosing an LMS can seem quite intimidating, but by following this guide, we are sure you will stay on the right track. Yeah, so we did this. All right, all right. So thanks so much for joining our demo today. We hope this was informative for all of you and that your search of an LMS will go a lot more smoothly by following our guide. And we truly hope this will help you find the right LMS for your needs. But of course, we have to mention that if you're looking for a learning platform that's easy to use but powerful, with award-winning exceptional technical support, please feel free to try out iSpring Learn LMS now. And iSpring Learn LMS, our learning management system, has different subscription models for different cases. There are plans for those who are just entering the world of learning management systems and for those who have a little bit more complex needs, like if you need to integrate their learning management system with talent management and HR management. In any case, we have a model we think will be perfect for you. You are welcome to book a free live demo of iSpring Learn LMS. And we can't wait to have the chance to help you discover if our LMS is right for you. So, thanks again for, thanks again everyone for attending. And now it's time for our question and answer session. So, go ahead and ask anything. We're more than happy to answer all of your questions.
Thank you so much, Ariana, for this wonderful presentation. And yes, guys, you're more than welcome to submit any questions to the chat. And while we are waiting for your questions, I want to quickly ask you to fill out this survey after the webinar because this will really help us to provide you with more relevant information. And if you don't have any questions, you are more than welcome to just type in the chat. And also, I think that yes, we don't have any questions so far. So it's time to wrap up our questions. Sorry, our webinar.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today and spending that valuable half an hour with us. So I hope to see you at our next webinar. Goodbye, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Goodbye, guys. Thanks for attending. Have a wonderful day.